Hello, everybody, and welcome to our session called How to Harness the Power of Person-Based Advertising to Increase the Power of Your ABM Campaigns with Capgemini. My name is Dmitri Lisitski, and I'm CEO and co-founder of Info2. And I'm excited to welcome Jomar Ebalida, who is Revenue Technology Lead at Capgemini. Hey, Jomar.
Hey, Dmitri. My name is Jomar. Currently work for Capgemini as a Revenue Technology Lead for North and South America. I help architect the different types of marketing and sales tools together and basically plan the architecture for the ongoing maintenance and build for Capgemini.
Okay, thank you. Well, before we jump into this exciting case study, let me just provide some background of what Info2 is and why we built this product. So really briefly about the company. The company was founded in 2017, and we were experiencing quite significant growth since that. We can basically doubling every 6 months. And we have really exciting clients in our portfolio. Capgemini is one of them. And we mostly focused on IT services and healthcare clients, and then mostly focused on the US as a geography. And then speaking about why we have built Info2, I think there are lots of great reasons how you can acquire new customers, new leads using traditional, advertising tools, SEO, Google Ads, LinkedIn. The challenge with these tools is that you can really get a lot of great, medium-sized customers, but then if you go after large accounts, it becomes really challenging because these guys just don't search and then they appear in other advertising formats quite rarely. And then our idea was that if you want to go after specific gym accounts, then we need to build a solution that basically solves this problem. So speaking really briefly about how we understand the current state of ABM and why we want to make it better, there are three elements here. One, obviously, is that existing ABM solutions target company employees, but they don't target specific decision makers, and that's a big challenge. And we built Info2 to actually target the specific decision makers inside large companies. Second is that if you think about advertising, you get a lot of engagements from this. You can really buy a lot of traffic, but then the challenge is that most of the traffic is anonymous and you have no idea who are these people, and then obviously you cannot leverage it, can continue the dialogue. And we believe that every engagement matters, every engagement is important, and you really want to understand who is clicking on advertising. And the third element is that orchestration, the way it's done so far is not amazing. Like you cannot connect engagements to coming from advertising to other elements of your ABM campaigns. And then obviously we want to create individual buyer journey for every target you have. And then speaking about this first challenge that we see across ABM industry is that with non-person-based approach, you can target. I use Microsoft as an example here. You can target some people inside this company. And if you execute your ABM campaign, you can reach, like, say, for more than 4,000 decision makers in this company. But probably these people could be completely different to the small buying team, small group of people who actually can buy your product, can make decision to buy a product. And we really believe that you want to choose who you're going after, and then you want to know who exactly you're engaging with, and then this is kind of person-based ABM, the way we believe works much better. And with that, I pass to Jomar, who will share how exactly they used Info2 in their situation.
Hi. So about Capgemini, we're a pretty big company in Europe, and we started branching out to North America and South America. We did have, so I work for the North and South America portion, but we go ahead and start becoming a leader in digital transformation across different industries currently. So we cover a lot of big company names as well as government, and we have over 270,000 team members, and we're continuously growing. out of, after 2020, our team just kept growing. We have over 300,000 now. So yeah, we're a pretty global organization, and we kind of span the world. And we really thought, this coming year, due to the uncertain times, we're definitely looking into more of revamping our technology. So the challenges that we had for Capgemini was we wanted to utilize, the correct individuals to go to our specific offerings. Our offerings in IT services spread out so much to different sectors and industries, but we really wanted to control the right individuals to go to the right offerings. Because ABM, and we're only hitting really enterprise. Our sales target is our account target is, if anything is less than 100 million, we're not even going to talk to. So for us, we have a very specific account base, but we have certain individuals that we want to target. And we're using a lot of the other previous advertising tools didn't really give us that type of control. So the lack of control was a big thing for me in terms of getting the right teams of individuals that are in the buying committee to the right offerings and pages. So yeah, that's basically another thing was the personalization aspect. I really wanted to personalize a lot of the different types of ads, and Influ2 was able to do that for me. And I was able to supplement our data from our old Salesforce instance with new refresh data, which help with targeting not just for the web, but for mobile as well, since we're able to use the phone numbers as for targeting maiden advertising for mobile as well. So we got the advertising for mobile, web, and it really gave us the control that we needed that other platforms wasn't able to give us. And that was the challenge that I had with all the other types of ABM advertisings. So we can go into the different types of outcomes that we had. And so the overall performance, we basically had, a pretty high number of targets reach, and we have a lot of impressions and clicks and visits and direct visits that we basically were able to do. We had a quick basically PO with them, like a proof of concept. And the proof of concept, I was really amazed by the overall performance that I was able to see, not just by the account reach, but I think by the amount of transparency that I got from the platform. So here are just the top engaged accounts that we really focused on. We had AT&T, Pfizer, Comcast, Verizon, and we were able to really reach all these accounts and give the right scoring for them. So the scores, we had, Influ2 has a different scoring mechanism, and just like SalesOff has a different mechanism, Pardot has a different scoring mechanism. They have a mechanism based on impressions, clicks, and visits, and overall how long they were basically there for. And they also has a really good depreciation score for each account, and so we're able to utilize their own scoring as well to basically keep track of how engaged the accounts had basically with our advertising. And so like I said, the most advertising platforms for ABM only gave us the first layer. This Influ2 give us a little bit more of a transparency, and it gives us not just transparency, but gives us more data, and enables not just our marketing team, but our sales team to act in that data, because they're able to identify who the individual is, what pages they clicked on, and what direct visits, and we're able to control that. Google, for example, and other platforms, they rotate different types of retargeting. They rotate different types of ads. And so you're not really able to have that sense of control. And, Influ2 does. And so they have, it tells you the amount of clicks and impressions, tells you the pages they viewed, and it gives you in a very nice historic timeline of when they clicked it, when they viewed it, to help your marketing and sales team engage correctly. And so here is an example of, the different types of historic timeline that you'll get. including the different types of score and top scores and impressions that you get from them. So each one of your buying team individuals get this types of score. And this is amazing for your sales team, because then your sales individuals are able to tailor their messaging on what type of, on the type of concepts and content they have engaged in, they consumed. And so it makes them a little bit smarter. Here are some of the ads that we've already deployed within the year. We've drastically increased our budget with Influ2 since we've seen the progress. And so these are the different types of scores that you'll get. You get +4, +2 for direct visits, and then the +3.3, and it gives you an overall average at the very top for each one.
Yeah, and that's actually the journey of one person who actually click on the banner and then visit the landing page, and we also trace the visits over there, right?
Yeah. So this is one individual person's journey through the entire type of the scoring process. They also have this new feature where you basically are able to see the timeline and this time chart of the different types of scoring increasing scores based on the type of visits and engagements that they've had. And this basically helps, like I said, the marketing and sales team identify what pages are resonating with them, what type of messaging is resonating with them, and where they are in the buying cycle. You really get to control. You get that transparency and control that you wouldn't have with other ABM tools today. And so the key takeaways that I had was, I was really able to not just tokenize, but segment the different types of campaigns. So I was able to specify buying teams' individual journey for offerings. And then it basically increased our bookings for Influ2. Anytime we had an inside sales team list, we uploaded this, was appended with data, and we're basically able to send that into Influ2 and then get alerts. The sales alerts are great because you can do it in Slack, you can do it in email, and you can even give them direct access to the platform. So you really get to really have a choice in how your salespeople get to consume the data, as well as they have a great Salesforce, HubSpot, Pardot integration, which helps with the scoring. Also, if you have other scorings inside Pardot, you could personally scoring clicks. And like I reiterate, is the different types of transparency, not just with the visuals of who clicks it, but also you get more return investment on advertising, because you're now able to select individuals that are clicking and viewing. You're able to identify them and put them to the right campaign in Salesforce and attribute those to the right opportunities. I don't see any other platform doing that today. And to me, that really helped in gaining a lot more, gain more traction and influence with opportunities from 2020, especially with the pandemic. In events, people pass by your booth. Sometimes you have people scanning it. Here, sometimes you don't really articulate if they're even looking at your ads or clicking. In Influ2, you're getting that same event experience, but for advertising. So that means that you're able to really calculate, okay, how many seconds are they really viewing your page? And then, so to me, that was a great way to save our budgeting and able to basically, diverge it from things that we weren't able to use in 2020 into more an effective, more ROI based, method of campaign tackling. And so what we did for 2020 and the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020, it was actually a great segue into Influ2, because we were revamping our entire revenue technology stack, and we're using this year's decisions ABM fundamentals, but then we're able to layer the business to person advertising with the buying teams, and we're able to really target individuals based on what offerings they're more likely to do. So we layered on predictive learning, we layered on behavior intent, and then we layered on business to person advertising to really conceptualize our entire revenue technology stack and empower our sales team to prioritize the salespeople based on what engagements they have. We basically, instead of being reactive and waiting for someone to fill out a form in a landing page, we're now tackling people and definitely being more, we're being more active instead of reactive, waiting for a landing page form fill. We're like, now we know what you're looking for. We're using predictive and behavior intent. We know what you're looking on the web, and we're sending you the right advertising with the personalization and segmentation to the right individuals, and then attributing that to the campaign into the right opportunities. So now if you have an opportunity that's already, so close to closing, you can send them ads to relevant case studies that will then help them increase the sales velocity. So that's kind of the takeaways I had from the tool. So.
Yeah, thank you. Well, actually, it's pretty exciting that when we designed Influ2, we actually were thinking about customers of this series decision model that they speak a lot about buying teams, and that's kind of huge difference. Like when you think about buying teams, this is not the same thing as accounts, right? So accounts are much bigger than buying teams. And
yes,
when
so
it narrows it down, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is people were thinking that you're selling to an account. No, you're selling to people. Every person has a different challenge that you can solve, but holistically, when they make this decision as a group, is it good for the company? But usually, at the beginning of the stages, they have personal challenges that they want to overcome, and that's when person-based advertising hits in. I think business-to-person advertising is a missing layer in the Series Decisions ABM fundamental to make it very effective. Behavior intent layered with business-to-person advertising is the key for 2021 to be more proactive. Instead of reactive. Forms. Waiting for people to fill out forms was so early 2000s. You're in 2021 and you have to use the data. The people that are going to win are the people that know how to use the data and know how to proactively execute on the data. And Influ2 does that for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, just the final slide. So like we actually not stopping at this, idea of person-based advertising, and I'm just excited to share. And by the way, this is the first time we share this concept. We actually want to apply this person-based approach to everything else that people do with the ABM strategies, besides just advertising element. And I'm excited to share that we are gradually rolling out these new features related to person-based audience selection, where instead of defining the accounts you want to go after, you define the accounts you go after, but also you define the exact people you want to go after in your campaigns across all ABM account-based marketing strategy. And then, and this is what we are rolling out right now. That's like, I think that this is the first thing that our customers will see actually next week. And then throughout this year, our customers will also experience what's called person-based marketing orchestration and person-based sales orchestration, where, again, you can leverage advertising signals to trigger events, say email sends or email campaigns or sales development effort or anything that you want to orchestrate your advertising and other marketing elements with. So essentially, we gradually rolling out this person-based everything strategy applied to every element in the marketing stack, and that's going to be a pretty exciting journey for everybody. Well, thank you, Jomar. That's really great case study, and it seems that you guys did a very good job in terms of reaching out your dream accounts and actually reaching out like great people behind these accounts, not just dream accounts, but actual decision makers, actual buyers who you might not could not reach otherwise. This is really great and exciting case study. Thank you for this.
Have a great day, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.